one of the main insider sessions. This is when you get to vote on the look of a new character, what the character does, how it performs, especially how it looks. So the idea here, I believe you're going to be able to vote on your voting buttons to shape the monster, and we'll also have a concept artist, I believe, as well, doing a quick sketch of it, but I'm not the expert on this. So I'm going to hand you over to Tim, who's going to host through this. Make sure you return shortly as well for a breaking into the industry session. So, to Tim.
Hi there everybody, so welcome to the Character is Born session. I'd just like to introduce each of us first before I get stuck in. So I'm Tim, I'm content developer. We've got Andy, he is the art director, manager. We've got Alec, he is a modeler. We've got Paolo, he is a concept artist. And we've also got Dave over there on the PC at the end, he's concept artist also. So what we're going to do today is we'd like to get a little bit of your input on creating a new boss for the Dominion Tower. Also at the same time, hopefully it's a good opportunity to give you an insight into how we create concept art for bosses before we go about designing them. And then hopefully as well at the same time add a little bit more information about Dominion Tower. This session, we're doing this session today where we're doing the concept art, and we're doing a second session tomorrow where we're actually taking that concept art and turning it into a model, and then over the coming weeks we'll be able to implement a design and put that into the game itself. So I'll just give you a little introduction, a little idea about the Dominion Tower itself. Some of you might have seen it in the halls downstairs already, if you haven't then go and have a look at some point. Basically, we've got this enormous tower in the middle of the desert, it's near sort of Shutter Pass. And we've got this, you go in, there's this big history all about the tower itself, this sort of giant face that introduces you to the tower itself. And you're going in there and fighting a variety of quest bosses, existing quest bosses. There are a variety in total. You go through and you are given different handicaps and different rules and situations to challenge your abilities in fighting those creatures. And then a variety of rewards and stuff to go along with that. So now I'll hand you over to Andy, and he'll see you through the voting process. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to have various different options for you to be able to vote on. So you're going to be voting on different body parts, different shapes, different parameters and statistics about the creature itself. And then we'll try our best to put it together on a screen. Dave will be working very frantically to try and to get something suitable and polished up on the screen, and hopefully it's something that you will like. It's going to have something that's actually feasible and possible to put into the game. So, okay, now over to Pete.
Thank you, Tim. Right, yeah, so we've got, I take it you're all familiar with the voting pad that you should find on your seat. Let's just dive straight into this. The first item we have is the perfect body. We've got three choices here. One, A is a kind of the lizard man kind of silhouette. B is your typical humanoid, and C is some sort of quadruped beast shape. So if you'd all like to start voting now, we'll give you about 10-15 seconds to get your vote in, and we want to try and get these votes done pretty quickly so that we give plenty of time to actually contact us up. So if you start voting, we'll give you a few seconds, and then we'll see what we come up with. So if you'd like to start voting now, everyone frantically stabbing those buttons. Okay then, everyone happy? Okay, let's see what the results are. Oh, and the four-legged beastie has a black whisker. And Dave's off. Right. On to the next slide. Let's see what the next choice is. The next choice, matching accessories. We have A, we have a spiked tail. B, we have spines for the back. And C, a rather fetching pair of spiny wings. Same as before, stabbing those buttons and give us your votes. Again, give you like 10-20 seconds just to make your minds up, but yeah, start voting now, please. All done? Excellent. Let's see what the next vote, the results of the next vote is. C, oh, it's wings. They've got the wings. Can you handle the pressure? Right, on to the next slide. Oh, onto the dilemma, in fact. We've got several sets of horns here. One, I'd say, is like a kind of demonic horn set. B is more sort of bovine. And C is a lovely spiky neck frill, kind of like some sort of triceratops kind of creature. So again, you know the score by now, start selecting your buttons and pressing away. Got about 10 seconds. Okay, then let's see what you've gone for. Oh, spiky tail. I can see Dave's talking to himself there, shaking his head. No, God, no. Right, on to the next slide. You're looking at me. How many eyes do you want this fella to have? We've got a choice of one eye, a couple of eyes, or loads of eyes. Which one are you going to go for? Please vote now. Everyone happy? Good, good. Let's see those results. Oh, you're lucky. It's a couple of eyes, mate. Right, on to the final slide now. This colour suits me. What sort of colour do you want this guy to be? A lovely royal blue, a deep dark red, or a lovely vibrant green. Again, you know the score, please vote now. Excellent, let's see the results of that. Oh, red. Red's always a popular colour. So yeah, so Dave now has sufficient information to work from that. So he'll be working in the background. As you can see, he's already got some basic shapes down there. So whilst he's frantically scribbling away, we'll throw a few questions at the team. So yeah, so Tim, first one for you. How did you actually pick the bosses that exist in the Dominion Tower? What was the process behind that?
Well, we started off by looking at the forums. It's quite some time ago now. We put a variety of polls on the forums to let people pick and let us know which of the boss monsters were their favourites. So we collected all that information to begin with. Then I went through and got a list of all the bosses that were in the game. So we had a look at all the different difficulty levels of all the different bosses that exist, and also at the same time think about exactly how the combat works with those particular monsters. So is it going to be melee, mage, or ranged? Is the actual fight going to take a long time or a short time? And pulling all this information together, make a really exciting spreadsheet listing all the different bosses there, detailing them by difficulty, and then to try and pick a selection. So where possible to put all of the bosses, at least not yet, all the first bosses into the tower, but at least hopefully there's a nice healthy selection.
What kind of difficulties did you face actually trying to get these different bosses into this one arena?
It was quite a challenge to get something to work for the great variety of different types of bosses that are out there. So you have, in some situations, you have singular bosses, and they can be quite small ones, or in other situations it could be enormous bosses, or it could be a selection of, maybe 5 or 6 bosses that you're going to have to fight together in one group. And trying to come up with a system that would take that into account and work for all those different situations was never a particularly easy thing to do. So if we're going to have like the camera sort of rotating around all the different bosses, you obviously want to show them off the best as possible. different volumes of bosses on the screen, that can always be prove to be a particularly difficult job.
Let's not forget you two guys here. Paolo, this is kind of an odd situation. We don't usually sort of like design by committee, but I hope not. How do you usually go about creating concepts?
Oh, well, the first part of the project barely involved any drawing, actually. This is the moment where we gather our reference. And so we try to figure out the visual language of the project, so which elements will try to convey the feel and the mood that designers wanted to achieve in the project. It's also the moment where when the art director gives us his input, and so actually provide us with quite a lot of images to understand what he wants to achieve in the project. And only after that, and after checking many times with the other teams whether our ideas will affect maybe negatively the job, because concept art, the first part of the project, any choice might imply working hours we really respect animation or modeling stuff. After we have talked to all the other departments, then we proceed to draw and start sketching.
Again, we've got a very limited time to actually create this concept. How long does a concept usually take?
Well, a character could take like from half a day to a day. A day usually a really complex character like a boss or something like that amount of detail. Complex environments might take even a week, like about that. We're talking about an entire map or busy.
Let's have a quick look at see how they're getting on. He's really flying along here now. You can see like quite a lot of the basic shape of the creatures coming through. This looks like it's going to be sort of like quite powerful creatures. So I hope this is your thinking of ways, thinking how you can actually incorporate this into the game. But we'll just go to you, Alec. So as a modeler, how do you actually use the concept? What sort of process when you actually get the concept from these guys? What do you do with it?
First of all, we kind of look at the overall shape, like the silhouette's a really important thing for our game and our engine. And there's so much detail that goes into the concept that we have to pick the best elements from the concept and really kind of bring across the character within what we can within the polygons. So it really is a lot to do with silhouette, a lot to do with shading and colour, and kind of outline the more important details that we can within the polys that we've got.
So you mentioned silhouette several times there. Is that a very important consideration then, just the basic silhouette of the creature?
Yeah, I mean, it's the first thing the player sees, I guess, in game. So they can really tell exactly what that creature is. It does have a strong silhouette, and we want to make sure that all our races, all our creatures have a very different silhouette. So it really gives variety to our game.
Excellent, thank you. Tim, if I can just jump back to you. What sort of challenges can we expect in the Dominion Tower?
There are a variety, hopefully, that will prove challenging for even the highest level player. We have a variety of different modes in the Dominion Tower. So we have, for example, we have a climb mode. So you're climbing up the different levels in the tower, and then as you progress, as you're going further up and up through the tower, you're gaining handicaps on each floor. So you've got things like no food, or no prayer, or no potions, a few more slightly more creative ones than that. And you go up the level, and obviously these handicaps are stacking, so it's going to get more and more difficult the further up the tower you get. We also have an endurance mode, so this is where you're playing through with one inventory full of items in terms of equipment. Your armour, your weapons, and your food, and your potions, and whatever, and you're not allowed to go to the bank within that run, so you have to see how many bosses you can kill with one inventory full of items. We also have a special mode, so this is where we had a little bit more fun. We picked some scenarios for fighting bosses where we could just pick some rules and some setups that would be a little bit more fun. So, for example, we've got fighting